Should reputations be streamlined and made easier to level? Wow. It's like, it's so weird. It's like, it's almost half, right? So obviously people don't like the rep grind. I also chose this one. No opinion, no. Yes, no opinion. Why am I blanking out, man? As soon as I got so excited with Guildbanks the Classic Plus, or I mean achievements, that like as soon as I got to like reputations being streamlined, it's like I ran out of juice, I guess. But it's like, yeah, I don't like the rep grind. I don't want to repeat myself too much from when I did this survey myself. But at the same time, what else can I say? Like, I don't have much else to say about this. How do you feel about adding Transmog? Okay. So to me it's like, I feel like there should have been an option to, like, not now, but maybe in the future. Because that's something I would have selected, right? Because if it's only classic vanilla, then yeah, Transmog doesn't really have a purpose, right? But if we are like 8, 9, 10 years into the expansion, or into Classic Plus, whatever, we are 10 years into it, like, how bad would it be, right? Where are we going to see ourselves? Are there going to be pieces of gear that just isn't used anymore because it's not powerful enough? Or are we really going to see a horizontal progression where, yeah, you can still use pieces of gear from the first phase, no problem. It's just that it's all like, now it's more tailored to your playstyle, or like different set bonuses have different effects, but the stats are basically the same. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised by this at all.
I think Transmog is fantastic for current WoW. I think it's great. It's a huge feature. People can farm items. They can like farm like, you know, different sets and RP and whatever. But for Classic, I just don't think it makes sense. It makes me happy that people are voting no, though, personally, because...
Like, I feel like Guzu should also realize that it's fantastic in in retail, because there's so much gear, right? There's so much gear. But in Classic, there's only just a handful amount of gear. And if we're going for the long run, again, I've already said this, but like, if we're going for the long run, then we should at least consider it.
RuneScape 3 has its own transmog, but there's a setting to disable other cosmetics. I think if this was added, it would be bad. I don't think...
Did you say that RuneScape had a way of disabling it? Like, that's what I'm saying, right? It should be a toggle, so that even if I transmog, you still see me as the gear I'm currently wearing anyway. So it doesn't matter if I transmog. Like, I will see myself as my transmog, but you will not. So like, what's the problem here?
Transmog should be in Classic Plus, if there was to be a Classic Plus, right? Seeing Nax gear characters in TBC is still cool, yeah.
Nax gear in TBC? I mean, maybe not in the 5th re-release of Classic. Maybe it was cool back in the day, but not now.
I just think there's so much more to the game, and the game has just expanded itself so much. And a lot of people just love farming things, and a lot of people have gotten used to farming things for Transmog nowadays. If you were to remove it in retail, it would be horrible. Never do that, but in...
No, but like, again, it's because there's so much gear now. And there's so much gear that we just do not wear. Like, we don't have it equipped because it's not relevant anymore. Like, you can still wear the Judgment set from 20 years ago, from fucking, like the Judgment, like the tier 2 set. And now with the anniversary, they even released an HD remake of it, right? So like, yeah, sure, there are transmog that you can buy, but it's also because of all the gear that gets released and eventually it just gets irrelevant, like in the next patch, which you can think whatever you want about it.
But like, what is the downside if there's an opinion to turn it off and on? If people want to see the transmogs, they can turn it off and on. If you want to see visual gear progress, you turn it off. That's it. I mean, maybe
That's exactly what I'm saying. Let's see what he says.
it's silly, but like for me, it's just a big part of the RPG feel. Like I see my characters as they do, and they see my character as I do, right? Like it's all the same. Like, and then I turn off a switch, and then like everything looks completely different. It also will make people need on items that aren't good for them just because of the looks. Yeah, that is also true.
I've never needed on something because of transmog, right? In retail right now, you cannot even do that, right? In the current raid, it's like, if there is a piece of gear that you cannot even wear, you cannot need it, but you can roll for transmog. But that roll is basically just, if there's even one person that needs that gear, they will have the prio on it, right? But for example, if someone, like, if that kind of system is not implemented and we have transmog, then yeah, it's up to every person, but at least I would greed it. So like, yeah, if no one needs it, then sure, give it to me for transmog, right? Or at least I will roll for it for transmog. But I would never need it for transmog if there's someone who could potentially use it. At least not without asking first. Should a separated collections inventory be implemented? Oh, yes. See? Again. Collections tab. Bring that shit in. It's not going to ruin anything. It's not going to ruin shit. The axe and the chainsaw, as I said in the last vid, like, why? Why not, man? Classic allow GDKPs. Yeah, that's about right. I feel like people just have no faith in that Blizzard is going to be able to combat bots. GDKPs was a way of getting bot gold without actually buying gold, right? But at the same time, that's only for people that joined as carries. If you were going to join as a buyer, you were expected to have a budget, and that budget had to be a certain amount. And that certain amount, at least I would have had to buy gold to reach that level, you know. It's a way of earning gold, but at the same time, I don't like it when it's bought gold. And I feel like that's why people are voting no, because it's like the way the current situation is, we just like it's not a good way. It's not going to solve, again, it's not going to solve the RMT problem, but at least it's not going to make it worse.
I do not like GDKPs. Well, I actually like them in theory. In theory, I think they're an amazing system. But in practice, it gets abused, incentivizes people to buy gold. In practice, it just sucks. But in theory, I love it.
Basically sums up my view of it as well. It's cool, but at the same time, it's like the gold that we spend in GDKPs nowadays, it's bought gold. It's bought gold.
Pugs are basically people getting carried. That's what pugs are. And that's also what GDKPs are. But in GDKP, they'll carry you, but they get paid.
Yeah, that's what pugs are, absolutely. But it's like more of, that's the only way to raid without having a guild, right? Like, and yes, like in the guild, in the pug group I was, yes, a lot of the times the raid leader did hard reserve something, but most of the time it was just one item. It didn't feel like he reserved everything. It was just, of course, one strong item, but it was not like, I don't know, he didn't reserve everything. God, no. And also, like, yeah, as I said, like, pugs is, if you view it that way, yeah, sure, but pugs is just people getting carried, because obviously there's going to be people that are more geared. So, like, I don't know, I feel like we need to stop thinking about, like, pugs and raids is like, oh, it's just people getting carried. Yes, there's going to be carried, but that's just the way the game works. That's just how the game works. There's always going to like we're not gonna have the same amount of gear all the time. Sometimes people, like, there are new players that come in. It's like, of course, there's going to be someone who's fully bist and someone who's just hit 60 perhaps. And we're going through Molten Core. Yes, obviously. I don't know, that's just the way the game works.
With Classic Plus being hype and everything kind of being new, GDKPs, keep them out, no problem. If it really became a problem, though, and it's like the pugs are awful or whatever, I'd be for bringing it back. But initially, have it banned. I just find it a very interesting stat because I think it's the hardcore raiders and the people that really sweat and play the game a lot that actually understand how things work.
I mean, again, wasn't the whole thing about, like, one of the things why people didn't like retail is that it caters to the top 3% that of the player base that goes all in on it and just no lives it and plays the game like a job. I feel like we should not we should not do the same thing for Classic. We shouldn't cater the game to hardcore raiders.
95% of people
are afraid
so something like
of GDKP.
Noobs are afraid of GDKP. I don't know, why would a noob be afraid of GDKP? Is it because they have to have a lot of gold to even be able to enter? That could be it. Of course, I am quote-unquote afraid of it, because now I have to buy gold to even be able to join, to even have a budget for it, right? Because everyone is just going to have thousands upon thousands of gold to bid with, right? I'm not even gonna have a chance.
This is actually really interesting, like, information, but it's definitely skewed towards what I thought it would be. But there is also a lot of people that really want GDKPs. I think that's almost more interesting to me, because it is actually, it's almost like a 50-50 split.
No.
Not necessarily, because a lot of people just have no opinion, right? But it's like 55 no, 25% yes, and then there's like 20% that's kind of whatever, right? They don't really care. So it is pretty close. Have you seen the puck scene without GDKPs? It's absolutely dog shit. I mean, my view on it is it's very different, I suppose, because I am a streamer.
Is it really? I haven't really pugged since ICC. That's like, in CAT I just logged into raid with my guild, and I didn't really pug, right? It was only in ICC, man. And even then, it's like, I don't know. Do people really hard res everything? I feel like they, like, at least for my pug group that I was with, as I said, he only hard res like one item max, and the rest was up for grabs, you know? I don't know, maybe I was just blessed. I don't know, maybe it was horrible for you guys.
I did use to stream GDKPs, and it did insanely well. People love it. It's like insanely good, but I stopped doing it because in my brain, I feel like it really encourages a lot of bad things for the game. The primary thing being like real money trading, of course.
Yes.
But that's why I stopped doing it, and that's why I didn't do it anymore. But I do have a little bit of a easier time with stuff.
Should the level cap ever be increased from 60? Wow. Depends on how long after launch, we'll have to see. Yeah, exactly. It depends. I'm more towards no. I think I even said no. But I don't know. Maybe when I think about it, maybe I should have chosen this one. Depends on long after launch. Show Classic Plus of new zones. Yes, please. There you go. Yeah. It's the logical conclusion, or like the logical step, because if it's only the original zones, we're going to hit a cap. We're going to hit, like, now we have so much shit in the original zones. It's like, well, we cannot really add anything else, and then we're not going to be able to add anything that will make sense in the classic lore. So, like, why not bring in Northrend? Why not bring in Colteris? So, like, that would be cool. If yes, we're in Azeroth or beyond, anywhere in Azeroth, only in the main two continents. Wow. People don't mind. Okay, I thought it was going to be way less with this one. But people actually wouldn't mind Outland, Draenor, Argus, Karesh, whatever. Another planet or dimension. To me, it's like anywhere in Azeroth, right? Because, yeah, Classic is on Azeroth, right? It's not in Outland, it's not in Draenor, it's not in friggin' Shadowlands. It's on Azeroth. And again, only on the main 2 continents. Like, I feel like, again, anywhere on Azeroth so that we don't limit ourselves. Should new content be added for leveling? Oh, you look at that. People want leveling to be updated every now and then. Wow. Wow. Should new content be added for leveling? Yes. Because that will make the leveling more fun. Even if we're going to have, oh yes, the leveling speed. The leveling speed is the next one, right? Because I feel like if we are going to keep the same leveling speed, at least bring more quests. At least bring more like stuff to do to level. So it's not just grinding mobs. Please, for the love of fuck.
Quest items shouldn't take up bag space. I think they should take up bag space.
Quest items, sure. I am. It's not a mount, right? It's a quest item, right? If I'm going to collect 10 bear asses, I should have to have a slot available for those bear asses. I agree.
Maybe not quest items, like, hey, put out these fires, and it gives you a fire extinguisher, and then you turn the quest in, but like the fire extinguisher stays in your bags, and you're like, you don't know if you're still using.
Yeah, that is something that I fucking hate about Classic. That's something I hate about Classic. Like, it's like sometimes the items stay in your inventory after you're done. It's like, why do I have this one? Oh, it's from that quest. Oh, okay. Then it's safe to delete. Like, it should be deleted right away.
Even like Warlock should have like a soul gem bag. Like,
don't they have that though?
Warlocks have to give up an entire bag slot. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like I cannot imagine being a warlock having to have an entire bag just for gems. Yeah, just stack soul shards. Absolutely. So, like, sure, have one slot for it, and you can just stack over, I would say over 1,000 soul shards. Maybe that's a bit much, but you know what I mean. Like, it should only have like, you should only have to have like one slot, and then you can just stack it. Should leveling be sped up? Okay. I feel like okay. Maybe not a launch. I feel like this one. What is this? 26. Let's round it up. 26. What is that? 40. 44. Yeah, 44. 44% actually want it to be sped up. Maybe not right away, but like at least they want it sped up. So that's 52 versus 44. As long as they fix so that you don't, as I said, there aren't any like downtime and you're just going to have to grind mobs. If that gets removed, then yes, sure, keep the leveling pace the same, because it's going to be faster anyway if we get quests for the entire journey. The reason why it was so slow was because there was so much grinding that you had to do. Also, something I missed entirely about the leveling that I got reminded of now, watching one of the videos I'm about to watch here, is that only 1.4% actually want to boost my characters. That is lower than I thought. I thought it was like 10% would say it. It's like because of how we see, like maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like I'm seeing so many of these like boosted mounts in Stormwind at the moment. It's like there's no way only 1.4% wants. Like, there's no way. I am pleasantly surprised that people don't want it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like someone lying here. Or maybe it's just that, like, they are so addicted to this game that, like, yeah, they would boost, but they would rather not. But, like, that since boost is on the table, they just do not have self-control enough to just leave it there. They have to boost themselves if it's available, but they would rather, of course, it not even being a thing, right? But to me, it's like, even if there are like WoW tokens and boosts, even if, like, I don't want it to be there, but even if there were, I would still expect no one to buy it, right? Because if you really don't want it, then you wouldn't buy it even if it was available, even if it was there, right? So that's why I'm like, are people being honest here? I mean, if they really are honest, that's a relief, right? But I feel like, yeah. Anyway, that was just the one I was missing here, right? Anyway, moving on.
Leveling is boring. I'd rather boost my characters. But even if that 1.4% boosted, it will be so much money. That's the thing, dude. It would be so much money.
Should there be more class-specific quests? Okay, yeah. Well, it adds flavor, right? It adds flavor, absolutely. I would be more towards this because I would like to get something out of it. But yeah, sure. Like, it's fun. Either way, it's fun, right? Like, I don't mind this, right? If it's just for the... It's just that if it's something that you don't get anything out of, then I'm just going to do it once. I think I said that in the last video as well. So I'm sorry for repeating myself. Should there be more epic quest lines? Yes. No brainer, no brainer. Which of these following best describes how you would like to see changes in Classic Plus to old raids? Do all of the above plus add new bosses and everything. Tune them as needed for the... Oh, okay. And add new bosses and areas within them? That is interesting. I think I did this one, right? So it's like add more complex, difficult mechanics. Not difficult, but like at least like interesting, you know? So it's not just stand still and hit until dead, right? But yeah. Wow. Why did I not see that one? Tune as needed for any change in player power, but keep the spirit of the original raid. Should there be new raids? Yes, propose raids that already exist in the world, plus create some interesting content like Scotland Clay. Yeah, exactly. Should Classic Plus have new playable races? New playable races that already exist in Azeroth. Oh yeah. I watched, like, I even post-edit, I noticed it while editing, but what I said was like, yes, any races, but only the ones that made sense. And that was already an option here. Like new playable races that already exist in Azeroth. It's like, yeah, duh. Why did I not... Yeah, how did I not see it? Like, I think I chose both of these. Both of these two. New playable races that already exist in Azeroth. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because I don't want Volpera, you know. Even if they technically exist in Azeroth, then it's not... No, man. No. I don't want that shit. Should Classic Plus have new classes? Okay, that was less than I thought. That was less than I thought. Yes, but the ones we've seen, but also completely new classes. I'm so scared of this because it's going to be like, either it's going to be something that is really loved or really hated. It's like, no, it's just retail now. Especially if they're going to make new classes. Like, I feel like at least have already existing classes and make like a classic version of them.
I think precedent matters here. In Classic WoW, you keep the original classes. If the 35 plus 12% number, if that was a strong majority, 70 or 80%, that's when I would be like, yes, the community wants it. So we're nowhere near. This isn't even a mix. I wouldn't call this a mixed bag. I would say this is a clear no. The burden of change is on people that want it.
I don't know. There's something about this, like, oh, you need to have 75% at least. Like, there's something about it. Like, if it's 60%, then the majority wants it. That's it, right? If it's like 55, then the majority wants it. If they really if they wanted it to stay, then the no would be the vast majority. Of course, I understand what he means. It's like, we don't have new classes at the moment, so if we want new classes, there should be a majority that wants new classes. But I feel like it shouldn't be a strong majority, because that's just not going to happen, especially with choices like these. It's like you have 2 yeses here and only 1 no. There could be a yes, but make it only in a classified version of it, like Death Knight and Demon Hunter. Because this could be like, we'll only add classes, like, are we just going to add Death Knight and Demon Hunters like how they were, like Legion Demon Hunters? I don't think so, right?
35% of you actually trust the 2 devs to cook up a new class and for it to be fun, engaging, and not make you want to rip your hair out. Really? That's baffling.
I'm surprised that they actually want new classes. That's all I do. It's like how are they going to do it without making it not retail? As I said, should new races class combos be added? Oh, I mean, again, it's like, but only stuff with the lore that makes sense, you know. Like Troll Druid is fine, right? Troll Druid is fine, but Gnome Druid, fuck off. No, I don't want to see stuff like that, you know. It's like Human Hunter, yeah, sure. But Druid, for example, should absolutely only be Tauren and Night Elf. Or Troll, you know, I'm fine with Troll. But don't make like Gnome Druids, you know, like stuff like that can fuck off. It's like people who chose this are just, nah man, you're stupid. I'm sorry, but like, don't touch it. Don't touch it, man. Don't touch them. But at the same time, like, sure. But no, not any race to be any class. No. I don't want to see Tauren rogues. I don't want to see them, man. Should the Horde have Paladins and and the Aligned Shamans? Look at that. People actually want it. I'm pleasantly surprised here. I chose yes, because I don't know, I don't see why not. Even if it's not right away, it should happen eventually. Should classes be reworked? Some new spells that modernize ability rotations, just don't completely change them. I think I did this one, right? I think absolutely this one. It should absolutely be like that, modernize ability rotations, but just don't completely change them. Like, don't give me the one button rotation. I've said this one in the last video. I know I did. Make it more than just spam frostbolt, please. That's all. Of the following, what is the most important change needed to raid buffs? Raid buffs should be single class raid wide. Absolutely. There we go. Should cut less mana. I was not too fussed about this, I remember. Reagents, I didn't have any an opinion about. This one, I feel like no, it should not be like this. Because I remember I was doing, there was a week or I did that like reminded me of, hey, you don't have this buff on you right now. And it was like, I did it for my Druid, for Mark of the Wild. It's like as soon as my Mark of the Wild ran off, that weak aura would bounce on the screen telling me that now you need to reapply Mark of the Wild. But when they combined Mark of the Wild and Blessing of Kings, I think, if someone buffed me with Blessing of Kings, my Mark of the Wild would obviously be overwritten because they do the same thing. So now it still bounces, like, hey, you don't have Mark of the Wild on, but I still have the same effect as Mark of the Wild. So it was like, oh, now I have to go into the weak aura and add Blessing of Kings to that logic, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's like Blessing of Kings and Mark of the Wild should do two different things, right? It shouldn't be the same.
Raid buff should be single cast raid wide.
What is that face?
Okay. Raid buff should be single cast raid wide.
Should talent specializations be reworked? Oh my god. I am so happy that so few would say just no. Like flat out no. I'm so happy. People at least want to see it with a light touch. They want to see reworks. I'm so happy with this one. Should 4th new talent specialization be added? Yes, but live in the hybrid classes. Absolutely. There we go. I'm so again. And also I'm happy that this one got second. Definitely give everyone something new to look forward to trying. I'm happy. There's a fourth of these responses was yes, give everything. Give everyone something. This makes me happy, and like it also makes me think. It makes me dislike classic Andes less now, because I feel like in the end we do agree. It's just that we prefer different things. But it's just that stuff like this, yeah, obviously, like we agree that classic have some flaws, and that a lot of these flaws absolutely could be fixed, and it could still be classic, you know, like especially since it's like we're just not in 2004 anymore. Like we need to, I feel like the game needs to be adapted to how we play today, you know, how we are as players.
Most people say yes, but limit it to hybrid classes with roles that didn't get fleshed out. Oh. So they don't want Feral Druids anymore. You need to be a Guardian Druid.
Exactly.
I do not like that.
Why?
Like Shaman tank, you should be enhancement.
I don't know enough about shamans to have an opinion, I think. But druids, absolutely. Like, come on, man. It's no. I don't want the Guardian Druid and the Feral Druid to have the same talents. Come on.
I don't think it's cool.
Why
I think
not?
hybrids should be... I think classic Ferals should be able to off-tank really well because they can still do really good damage. Plus, they have dual spec, right?
But that's like I can still heal even if I am feral. It's just that my healing is going to suck, right? I feel like in my experience, if I was gearing my druid to be an off tank, then my DPS would suffer, right? And if I would gear to be a DPS, then I would be more squishier, right? So like even like I feel like there's no reason to not have Guardian Druid as well as Feral Druid, right? Because sometimes it's like, I don't want to tank, I just want to DPS. Then I will go Feral, and people will know that like, yeah, okay, I'm not enough tank, I'm a DPS. It's just that it would be the easy solution to just have Guardian Druid and Feral Druid. You should still be able to heal, but it's just that if you want to actually have good heals, you should be Resto. That's the thing. Should every spec be competitive in both PvE? No, not every. It needs to be perfectly right. Overtuning for PvP balance could break PvP and vice versa. Not in most cases, but vanilla hybrid classes don't perform well in PvE. Okay. It's an exact split. But I am going to count this one into this one. Because that both of these are like, there should be some form of changes so that everyone can at least be fine. I feel like everyone should have to bring something so that it's not just like we don't want more boomkins and rat paladins where it's like they like a Resto druid and a holy paladin is bringing the exact same amount of utility as a rat paladin and a boomkin. So like it's so much better if they just re-rolled to healers. Like I don't want to see that shit. I want people to be able to play where they want.
Okay. I think the way I felt about this question is I think I went with 3. Yes, every spec should be viable in all scenarios, but not as strongly as that. Like, mages are the kings of AoE. Feral Druids are just single target Andes. But like, in PvP, I'd rather it be kind of close. And like, on a boss fight in Raid, it should be kind of close, right?
The reality is that people are just way too, like, if something is way too bad, if Feral Druid is way too, like if the damage is way too horrible and they don't bring anything utility-wise that a Resto can bring, then you're only going to be invited if you are a Resto Druid. Like that's why we need to have balance, so that every single spec, every single class can have, they will have at least a spot in a raid, so that it's just not warriors all the time, you know, warriors, mages, rogues. We will at least have some boomkins, some ferals, some ret paladins, some like shadow priests. Like we don't have just warriors. Like that's boring. That's why.
You have mechanics where there's a ton of AoE. Onyxia, for example, you know how the whelps come in? No one gives a fuck. The whelps die so easily. But imagine in Classic Plus, these whelps are actually like a threat, and you need to have 2 mages that are in charge of AoEing the left and the right side and controlling these whelps. That gives the mage a job. Only a mage can do it. But again, just raid DPS wise. DPSing the boss. They should be close.
I agree, but at the same time, I feel like it's just, in a perfect world, that would be nice, right? But I feel like people are way too, if you're shit at whatever, then you're not going to get invited. right? Unless you bring something else. People are like, we're not the same as we were 20 years ago. Should dual spec? I feel like, yeah. Oh my god. 92%. Again, why not? Like, come on, man. Who are you people who said no? You are masochists. Like, you are fucking, like, I don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. You should be miserable. You should be blah, 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 blah. Like, fuck off.
I'm actually shocked dual spec is only 92% approval. I mean, who is voting no on this?
Classic purists.
Like, it should be like 99% approval on this. Like, what?
Exactly. Like, why the fuck would you not want this? It's one of those things that, like, okay, if you're really against it, then never buy it then. Keep respecting your primary spec and never get a secondary spec. Should new professions be added? Oh, man. I think I said no to this one. Because I feel like this should have been an option to, like, yes, but at least keep it in a classic feel, right? Has there been a new profession since Inscription, by the way? What professions are there? Like, I feel like Cataclysm was the last one that introduced a profession, and that was archaeology. And since then, all of these professions have just been updated. There's not been a new profession since then. So, maybe it could be awesome. Like, they did jewel crafting right, they did inscription right, they did archaeology right. Why not? Maybe I feel like the originals are fine, but like, I wouldn't mind, for example, jewel crafting to be a thing in Classic Plus. But whatever. Should professions be updated to have more endgame relevance? Yes. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to see a meta where everyone goes engineering. I said that in the last one, but whatever. So, wow. This was very interesting to me.
Over 70% of respondents think Retribution Paladin needs major revamping.
Whoa. Okay. This is something else. This is classes and talents. I thought he was only going to cover the intro.
Retribution Paladin needs major revamping.
Okay, so I haven't seen how it is now. Let's see. It's probably around the same, right? So, like, let's see. So, classes and talents. Question 3. Oh boy. Okay, so it's not as many. Like, I see the intro survey that's like 41k, and then I see the classes and talents, only 18,000 has responded. Okay, I guess like the intro is very much telling how people want the Classic Plus to be, but I feel like, yeah, absolutely, eventually you should have to do every single one of these, even if it's not like it took a while to do all of them, but like eventually I feel like everyone should do every one of these that are actually interested in a Classic Plus, just so that Blizzard can actually get inspired, if that's the right word for it. It's like if you don't vote, it's election year and you don't vote, then you cannot really complain about the results, right? Retribution Paladin, absolutely. And Balance Druid. These two, absolutely. And Protection Paladin. These four. Absolutely, these four needs the biggest fucking change. I'm surprised Arcane Mage is not higher. Because Protection Paladin, I assume, is at least fine in dungeons? Like, sometimes in dungeons, I don't know. Balance Druid, yeah, like Ret Paladin, Balance Druid, Arcane Mage. Because Arcane Mage is not even a thing. Balance Druid is at least a spec, right? Survival Hunter, Shadow Priest, Feral Druid is way too low for my taste, but I can understand it's not as important as Balance Druid, right? And all the way over here is just, why would we change these? These are like the biggest, these are like what people bring, right?
Over 70% of respondents think Retribution Paladin needs major revamping.
Dude, the Paladin players are the biggest complainers in the game.
I thought it was the Feral Druid who was the biggest complainers.
I'm surprised Arcane is above Enhancement Shaman. I can agree with the Retro Paladin, Balance Druid,
because
Arcane,
enhancement is at least a thing. Arcane Mage is not, as I said before.
The top 6 I could agree with. Slight things, right? Yeah, I could agree with that.
Why would I include the Feral Druid in there, man?
It would be cool to have Enhancement
1,
be a
2,
bit
3,
more
4,
like
5, 6.
juicy. in some ways.
What about Elemental Shaman? What about Feral Druid, huh? You disgust me.
Consider my main chat the best class.
Oh,
Holy.
Paladin.
that's a Death Knight. That's not very classic of you, Gusu.
That's not very classic of you.
I'm more like a warrior guy, but like I just meant like a big sword, right? Like a big juicy, but not juicy, but you know what I mean.
55% of respondents.
When I took this survey, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Blizzard is going to see this, and we're going to be able to have proof and say, look, this is what we want, Blizzard. Now you can do it.
Exactly. Like this is a perfect, like, here is your homework, now do it, you know. Or like here is the blueprint, right? If you're planning on making Classic Plus and you just don't know how to do it, here's the blueprint.
That, like, nobody knows what they want. Like, that's hilarious, bro. That is super funny. So what do you do if you're a Blizzard then?
Wait, what did that chatter say? Too many retail players took the survey? Yeah. That's the thing, right? I think one of the questions is like, have they played it before, right? What experience, right? Only expansions beyond, I've never played vanilla, is like 22%. I feel like this is what people would say, you know, like what people would see this answer as. It's like this is the retail answer. It's like I play retail, I play expansions beyond vanilla. But yeah, now that I see only expansions, then I feel like if you chose this, then you would only choose this. But I chose this because I've also played expansions beyond vanilla. But I don't know, too many retail players. I feel like we also have a say in this. If we've played the classic, like in 2019 classic, and we actually played it, then I feel like we still have a say in this. If we haven't played it at all, then sure, I would say that there's no saying. You don't have a saying it. But if you have played 2019 Classic, then you have a saying it.
With an absolute truckload of ideas being submitted and tens of thousands of upvotes and downvotes on all of these ideas
Wait, what is this?
over the course of the last 2 weeks. So while you're on the site, go.
Did I miss this? Content? Oh! No! Really? I have completely missed it, but this is gonna take forever to make a video about, man. This is gonna take forever, man. And I feel like, yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of, like, upvotes here. It's like, stuff like new dungeon Karazhan crypts, like, why not? You know, this is the thing. Like, these are no-brainers, right? Attempts to open the Dark Portal. Players defeat him during this. Oh, that. Yeah, see, we have good. Like classic players have good ideas here. New battleground Ashara crater. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Make Ashara more than just a freaking empty zone. New dungeon, Timbermaw prison. See, oh my god, this is interesting. This is super interesting. Wow, I just wanted to see the main. Like mostly, I wanted to see the intro survey on what people thought about it. But of course, I'm not going to be able to cover everything, right? Maybe I can make it into a series if that's what people want. Like, if you want that, then please let me know. But other than that, I feel like this is going to be the final part, where I'm just looking at the results, at least on the intro survey, and just going to see what others, like some streamers, thought about it as well. Like that was the plan, anyway.
What is it?
Yeah, I was about to say. Oh, fuck, I'm getting flashbang.
This survey solidifies the fact in my head that you can't design the game from a community's wants and desires.
That sounds like someone who is in the minority would say. But I do understand. Like, there needs to be a philosophy or like a ground value that needs to be followed. And even if the majority of players say that they want this, it's like, well, I see that you guys want this, but that would go against what this game is about. But at the same time, like, come on, man. AoE looting, guild banks, dual spec, like stuff like that is just add it, man. Add it.
16% of people want modern spell effects. They want modern character animations. They want modern character models. They want Unreal, like...
If anything, this just shows that people might not be too fussed about it. That's all, right?
All of the stuff that they're voting for, layers are fine, modern stuff, smaller raids, dungeon finder, summoning stones, heroic dungeons, rated PvP, rated PvE. All this stuff is AoE looting. All this stuff is in retail.
Man, that's the thing, right? Like, it's called Classic Plus. There's supposed to be a plus in there. And that means, at least for me, that we implement these things that, yes, may or may not be in retail. It could also be a thing that was added in TBC and also in RAF. Like, stuff that wasn't exactly Activision's fault or Microsoft's fault, right? This could absolutely be the old team's fault. But those, like, it turns out that, like, maybe people weren't that, like, it wasn't that bad, right? It's just that we only hear the ones complaining. We don't hear the ones having, I would prefer if it wasn't there, but it's not that bad, you know? It's like AoE looting. People want it. Like, what the fuck? Then yeah, sure. Like, it should still not be too much like vanilla, because then we will just be in vanilla again.
Someone who likes retail and plays classic and takes these votes is like, yeah, that's great. Let's make it more like retail.
That's great. Make it more like retail. Yes, exactly. And if I'm in a minority, so be it. But it turns out I am not, right? I will assume that most of these actually did play. They prefer classic, but there are some things in retail that absolutely is better, and it was added for a reason. It does not mean that, like, oh, it's retail, so therefore it's bad. No. This is classic plus. It's not just classic.
And you have to keep in mind that the people who took this survey are largely biased to their streamers' opinions.
That is true, but at the same time, I feel like this should still be a blueprint, at least. And we have to keep in mind that things can be implemented later, and it can be implemented, and it can also be removed if something is like, well, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. We can still remove it. We can still, like, go back, right? It's like, maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
So of 1 million people that play Classic WoW, 35k voted. 80% of them have a favorite streamer and might resonate with their opinions. This is a completely, honestly, the whole poll, I think is...
This is also why I didn't, like, as I said many times, this is exactly why I did all of these. Like, I watched only 2, and then I'm like, oh fuck, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do all of these myself before I check the results, right? Because if I check the results before I take the survey, I will probably be a bit biased, right?
See the first comment on the YouTube video?
No.
A Grend with eyeball emojis on the Classic Plus project video.
No
Blizzard
way.
is watching. Confirmed.
No
boys.
way.
Confirmed.
No way. No way, man. That's awesome. They are watching. Please. Oh, man. So as I said, I don't feel like I want to go through all of them unless you guys want me to. Please let me know. What I do want to know though is classes, because I reminded myself that you got to choose a class that you feel like, well, I know a lot about this class, right? So I chose Druid because that's the only one, right? There are like Druids, Hunter, Mage. It's like there's a lot of them here, right? So, like I will only look at the Druid ones. But first, it's like the intro quests here. Like, how would you rate the class balance in vanilla? I put a 2, I think. But yeah, absolutely, it's not good. There's like no one. 1.5 out of 10. Like, that's horrible. At best, it was like 6 or 7. 5, 4, you know, it's like 3. Like, it's not good, you know. It shouldn't. There needs to be something done to it, right? Obviously. Do you think any balancing needs to happen? Classes can have different damage profiles, but they all need important utilities you bring them. Boomkins, like, all of the specs should have unique things that they bring. So you don't just, like, you cannot just say that, well, it doesn't matter if you play a Boomkin because a Resto Druid is going to bring the same amount of utility and it's going to be more useful. So respec, please. It's like, that, I hate that. Like, there needs to be something that Boomkins can bring. Should new roles for some classes be added? Tank Paladin, Tank Shaman, Melee Hunter. Why is Tank Warlock and Healing Mage so high? 26%. And this was a multi-choice, right? So it's like how many of 18,000? Like, out of these 27%. Like, why do people want to see Healing Mage? Why do people want to see Tank Rogue? Like, Melee Hunter, Tank Shaman, Tank Paladin. Absolutely. I feel like it's like Tank Warlock, Healing Mage. No, man. No, man. Stop. Why? Should classes receive new or adjusted abilities to make the rotations more interesting? I mean, that's a no-brainer. If new abilities get added to classes, how should they be learned? Oh, people want experiment. Try a bunch of different things. Like, it doesn't have to be only trainer, but I feel like the main thing should be absolutely be trainer. And class quests. Right? Some things like bear form, for example. Sure. How would you feel if the talent trees in Classic Plus were larger? Not sure, depends on how they implement it. If they gave us more, I think I picked this one. If they gave us more talent points, it would be cool. Because I feel like if we want to adjust the talent trees, like major revamping, we need more. We need it to be bigger, I think. Because there needs to be stuff added more than changed. How would you feel if each talent tree had a capstone? Oh yeah. I put this one, I think. Should every class get a movement speed, talent, or ability? No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck that. Should mass resurrection be a spell in the game? I think I said no opinion here. Because I don't mind either. Should damage over time / heal over time spells be able to crit? Baseline for all classes. Yes, allow them to crit. Only this one was the one I picked. If they make it a new talent. I feel like it would be cooler if it's like, well, if you spec'd into Affliction Warlock, then sure, your dots can now crit, right? And if you're not spec'd into Affliction Warlock, then your dots are not going to be as powerful. That's more what it was. Like, if you're a Resto Druid, now your HOTS can crit, right? But if you're not a Resto spec, then it's not going to be as strong. That was my thought process on why I chose this one. Should each spec in Classic Plus have one spec tailored specifically for PvP? Yes, at least one spec should be good for PvP. I think I chose this one. It's very split, actually. Because I don't think that there should be... I don't want Frost Mage to be a PvP spec only. I want it to work in PvE as well. I don't like it, man. I want every single spec to be viable in both of them. I don't want specs to be only good for PvP. I mean, I guess this one doesn't mean that it's only good for PvP, but it mean that's what I took it as, right? Whereas here it's it's not bad in either. It works in both of them. What class would you consider your main or have a good knowledge on? Well, and most of them said warrior, right? This is the thing, right? Depending on what you chose, I only chose Druid, so that would be I would get only Druid questions. But if I had ticked Druid and Shaman, I would get both Druid and Shaman questions. So I think that's kind of cool, because then, since I don't know much about the Hunter, I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer about Hunter questions. Only the Hunters should answer about Hunters, what they think about them. Because I don't play Hunter in Classic, so I don't know. So therefore I should not know. I should not have a say in it, right? Okay, so here's all the like mage, here's all the paladins, here's all the priest. I think druid is the one at the top, right? There we go, that's the one. How would you rate vanilla WoW Feral Druids kit in terms of solo content? Yeah, that's about it. It's really good. It's the spec of choice for leveling. So yeah, obviously solo content is going to slap. 5-man, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I have like 5 or 4 here, because like it's fine, but it doesn't have AoE. And dungeons is a lot of like we pull a pack of multiple mobs, and AoE will definitely be sought after here. So I think I said like 5 or 4. I don't think I was in this area at all. How would you rate vanilla WoW Feral Druids kit in terms of raid content? Oh yes! Oh, people think like me. Fuck Powershifting, fuck Crowd Pummeler, fuck Wolfshead Helm, fuck all of them. Remove that shit. Make Feral Druids good again. Please. Well, again. Make them better. Come on, man. How would you rate vanilla WoW's Feral Druids kit in terms of PvP? From what I've seen, I'm just bad at PvP. That's it, right? But what I'm seeing in like PvP videos, you can really make some good plays with Druid, and it's like I would say it's in a good place PvP wise, judging from what I see at least. But to me, it's like I'm just bad at it. How would you rate vanilla Resto druiding? Yeah, exactly. Like again, with healer specs, you really want to have at least one other person in your team, like leveling, because I don't know, you're not going to do much damage at all. Sure, you're not going to die, but it's going to be slow, like molasses. How would you rate vanilla WoW Restoration Druiding kits in terms of 5-man? Absolutely, they're good. They're much better in 5-man than in raids, because in raids the hots didn't stack. So unless you were, like, if you were more than one, then only the most gear of you could use their hots, right? And most of the time you couldn't even use your hots because you had world buffs that took up the buff slots. So it was like you can only spam healing touch, which was a slow heal that is most likely going to be overheal, because priests and paladins are going to be able to snipe the heals much faster than you. So okay, I was expecting much worse, but I guess 7, 8 around there. In terms of PvP, yeah, absolutely. They are gods in PvP, I would say, with their healing over time and also their utility. Solo content, Balance Druid. I think I said like 5 here, because like they're not. It's if you count out the fact that you have to drink after every pull, because their like mana management is horrible in vanilla overall. Like it's not only elemental shaman and boomkins that gets hurt by this. It's like every single. I don't like here's what I think, right? It's like me in a nutshell when it comes to Classic Plus, right? A lot of things I can compare to vanilla being you pulling one mob and then having to drink after that. But to me, it's like I want Classic Plus to be so that now you will be able to pull 4 mobs before having to drink instead, right? It's like, why can we not have that? I feel like it's going to be less tedious, but it's still going to be, you still have to drink, right? But now you don't have to do it after every mob. Now you can do it after every 4 mobs, right? I feel like most of the changes that I want in Classic, you can like basically like you will still be able to do Classic stuff. It's just that we need to cut down on the tediousness of it. How would you rate vanilla WoW Balance Druid kit in terms of 5-man dungeons? Yeah, exactly. And it's same with the raids. Jesus Christ, man. Whew. What about rat paladins? I want to see rat paladins in this, because of 34. Yeah, it's about the same here, but it was 32 instead of 34. Wow. Huh. Yeah, they need some love. Get onto it, Blizzard. Fuck the classic purists. They don't know what they want. They're only warrior mains that wants to remain on top. How would you rate Vanilla WoW Balance Druid kit in terms of PvP? I think I rated this like 5, right? It was like, it's fine. But I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it would be fine, right? With all the utility and all the spell damage, but it's just that it's, I don't know. It's still balanced Druid, right? Should Druids get a 4th talent tree specializing in tanking? Ooh. Ooh, it's split. It's split, man. Oh, I said yes, definitely. Like, it depends, man. Like, I've only had bad experiences due to this. Like, due to it not being a 4th talent. Because now, now you can clearly see that I'm only going to want to DPS. I don't want to tank. But in vanilla, all the way up to, like, just because tanking and DPS was in the same tree, people just assumed that, like, yeah, you can tank, right? I was like, I'm feral DPS, you know, but you are, like, the feral tree is also tanking, so just tank. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm glad that it's slightly in the majority. That yes, definitely, but like I don't know. It's still very split. Should Feral Druids Bleeds be able to crit? Yes, I said yes, I think. Oh, this is... Oh no, please, for the love of everything that is holy, please let Druids be united on this. That manual crowd pummeler should be not BIS. Please say no. I don't want to be too loud right now. That sounded so bad. I don't want to be too loud right now. Yes. Oh, I would be so pissed off, man. I would be so pissed off if the majority of my fellow feral druids would actually enjoy farming manual crowd pummelers for the entirety of the game. Like,
fuck you 4.2% players that said yes here. I am not kidding.
Oh, should powershifting be supported without needing the use of Wolfshead helm? Again, like I remember me being a bit like, what the fuck is this question? Because I don't want powershifting to be a thing. I don't want Wolfshead helm to be the thing I wear for the entirety of Classic Plus. So again, I beg my fellow feral druids, please, please, for the love of fuck, vote no here. Okay, I read the question wrong. I was so scared. I mean, of course, yes. Should powershifting be supported without needing to use Wolfshead helm? Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. I was just illiterate. Okay, so yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, we shouldn't have to wear Wolfshead helm for the entirety of Classic Plus, and manual crowd pummeler should not even, like, it should only stay as a weapon that you can use while you're leveling, but it should not be the fucking BIS. Are you fucking kidding me? I am so happy. Thank you.
And again, you motherfuckers who voted no here, you are a turd.
I don't know what to say, man. Should Feral Druids have class-specific consumable like Rogue's Thistle Tea? I think I had no option here. I think I was like, yeah, why not? But like, oh wait, maybe I did vote yes on this one. Let me quickly see, because I keep screenshots. I don't see any way of seeing like what I answered. Can I like see my own? I guess not. I actually voted no opinion on this. It's like, to me, it's more of like, how would they implement it? Because it would be cool to have like a Thistle Tea-ish thing to have for ferals. Okay, so in Season of Discovery we got catnip. That's cute. Should Balance Druids get more hits plus baked into the yes? I'm pretty sure I voted that. Should all druids be able to train amount form and run as fast as amount. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that people are with me on this. 30% is actually not a small no, but at the same time, I've already said what I wanted, like how I wanted it to be implemented. Because again, it just doesn't make sense, man. A cheat I should not, like, I don't know, whatever. How would you rate Vanilla WoW Beats Mastery? Okay, this is Hunter now, so I think that's it, yeah. So, now I've recorded for, I've almost recorded for 4 hours now. Oh my god, there's gonna be a lot of editing done here. But anyway, if you want me to go into more details about like more surveys, then let me know. I have screenshots of every single one that I've done, so it's just holla at me. Get me going, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, this is as much as I'm going right now. It's going to be a long video here again. But whatever. I'm glad that you have reached this point of the video without getting bored of my yapping. I'm super appreciative of that. If you haven't done already, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, but please tell me what I can do better if you do. Have a good one. I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. Night Purple out.